believe
there are several factors that can be deemed accountable for this situation. But I believe that all of them, in one way or the other, would converge to one main factor, and that would be the attitude of the learner. If the learner doesn't want to improve upon his academic performance, the probability that you can help him, that you can guide him of obtaining a better result is quite minimal. So over the years, more and more learners are not giving due attention to their education emerges your student. But again, the motivation isn't going to be affecting all the students, depending on the student's ambition. But yes, here at this institution, over the years, we have noted that though all students should have equal chance, every child should have access to the same treatment, which is absolutely true. But nevertheless, you would realize that the difference lies in their attitude. And depending on the type of student that we have, the motivation would depend on that. According to the experience that we've got at Modern College, you would find that you may be having one or two or a small group of students who are very brilliant and they are highly motivated and they want to do, the effort, the sacrifice that is required to achieve academic excellence. At the same time, you might be having students who may be academically less gifted, but who are very hardworking. On another level, you might be having students who pretend to work hard. Depending on the type of student you're working, I would believe that would determine the degree and the extent of motivation. We have even gone beyond the syllabus in most subjects, so that our students have pleasant reading materials. One motivational factor at this institution has been access to quality resources within the prescribed time. Because every year, year in, year out, I find students, be they average student or below average student, or even above average student, those students who have done a lot of effort, who have enormous sacrifice, have managed to obtain outstanding results. We have this strategy at Modern College, Student Voice, whereby very serious, very informal conversations with my students, whereby I try to listen to them, what are the strengths and the weaknesses of this institution from their viewpoint. I remember they were complaining that in their classroom, they were usually being disturbed by students who were not serious in their studies. They were of the opinion that had they had managed to maximize their learning time during school hours, their grade might have been better. So based on these arguments, we started to think of trying to provide individual support to students, depending on what they require. From this idea stemmed this notion of highly motivated student, whereby we thought that let's try to pilot this. How do we identify these students? Via teachers' observation. After a term or 2 terms, teacher would be advising you about the attitude, about the style, how do these students cope in their classroom, the type of question that they're asking you, whether they are being serious in their homework. So based on all of this, we created this concept of highly motivated student, which means that we try to provide them with individual support even after school hours. So the HMS in a way was about this group of students.